Psychoanalysis. What is it? Who do we have to thank for it? And how does it relate to the other psychotherapy traditions? Well, psychoanalysis, the essential technique there is interpretation. Now, a lot of people hear this and think, oh, sounds very intellectual and academic. And it may be that in the hands of some practitioners it is, but good psychoanalytic technique is not academic or intellectualistic. Indeed, the psychoanalysts recognized intellectualization as a defense mechanism. The good interpretation is really a way to offer its client greater coherence in their experience and visibility, okay? It's not an intellectualistic or academic affair. So I want to give you an example. Let's say you have a client who's experiencing a lot of negativity. They tend to complain a lot, and therefore they have trouble in relationships because they're trying to connect with people through a means that doesn't work. You just can't connect with people through complaining. Complaining is like a kind of ventilation. It can't really be empathized with. It's not really communication. And so these clients end up having trouble. You can make an interpretation along the lines of like, is it possible that when you were growing up, maybe your mother was like in a bad mood and you learned to associate the relationship with negativity, with conflict. And that's what relationship is to you, so that when you're trying to connect, that's just where you go. And who knows if that's actually right, but you could propose that. And I've had clients say, oh my God, that sounds right. And it kind of creates some coherence for them about what's going on. And it diminishes the impulse to try to engage in relationship through complaining, because it's become more conscious what that is, right? It's like holding up a clear mirror where a person has only experienced funhouse mirrors in the past, you see? So there's an experience of visibility. There's an experience of kind of being truly empathized with in a very deep way. And again, it brings coherence to the client's experience, okay? So the primary innovator with respect to psychoanalysis, of course, is Sigmund Freud, as we all know. Freud was a neurologist and was working initially with patients who were coming in with various strange symptoms, like they'd go blind or they'd become paralyzed, but there was no neurological abnormalities. And found that initially through hypnosis and then later through this free association process, this could cure these clients of these symptoms through, talking about issues and so on. Freud saw himself as a kind of scientist, and he was observing things. People come in for a psychoanalysis like four days a week and free associate on the couch. You get to observe quite a lot that way. So he was a scientist in the sense of observing humans in a particular way, and he developed various concepts that the analysts that came after him, found useful in treating people. So we had Sigmund Freud as a great innovator, and now what I'd like to do is look at our little chart of psychotherapeutic traditions to see where psychoanalysis falls here. And we can see it's closer to the bottom. So it's oriented around more physical level layers of the psyche. We could say more primitive layers of the psyche. And it's on the left, so it's dealing with it's psychoanalysis now. We're talking in the narrower sense, as distinguished from object relations, which is considered part of psychoanalysis in the broader sense. But if we're looking at psychoanalysis in the kind of narrower, more classic ego psychology sense, it's on the left there. So it's oriented around the interior of the person. Now it's the object relations folks who then got into what was going on between the person and others. And that we'll look at in a different video. Okay? But here, I just wanted to give you a summary of psychoanalysis. And of course, we'll come back with more videos, including one about the object relations tradition in the future. Okay, thank you for listening.